Hi, welcome everyone to ticketfreakz212. My name is Carlo, and unfortunately for the day, it will just be me. My lovely partner in crime is unfortunately not feeling too good today, under the weather for unfortunate reasons. So I'm going to be doing the segment. The show must go on. And we're here to talk about movies. Let's begin with Ticket Pick. Now I'm going to have to change the rules a couple bit, as the last segment usually explains with two couples. This is going to be with me, obviously. So this is the part of the show where I rate two random movies and rate them from 1 being bad to 10 being awesome. I'll then add the score to give the choice whether it made it to the Ticket Pick choice to watch or if it's just not worth watching it out. So let's begin. Opening with the Allied invasion of Normandy on June 6, 1944, members of the 2nd Rangers battle under Captain Miller, fight ashore to secure a beachhead. In the midst of fighting, 2 brothers are killed in action. Earlier in New Guinea, a 3rd brother is KIA. Their mother, Mrs. Ryan, is to receive all 3 of the gray telegrams on the same day. The U.S. Army Chief of Staff, George C. Marshall, is given the opportunity to elevate some of her grief when he learns of the 4th brother, Private James Ryan, and decides to send out 8 men, Captain Miller, and select members from 2nd Rangers to find him and bring him back home to his mother. Saving Private Ryan, made in 1998 as an action/drama directed by Steven Spielberg, screenplay by Robert Rodat, and cast includes Tom Hanks, Edward Burns, Tom Sizemore, and Matt Damon. Okay, so I'm just going to start off and already rate this movie at a 10. And the reason why I rate it at a 10 is because it just deserves such a righteous 10 for all the right reasons. Let's just put it out to the fact that all the actors in there were great. Tom Hanks, his performances in so many movies, Castaway, Catch Me If You Can, I believe there was a movie, it was called Terminal, and Forrest Gump. He had such a dramatic, serious roles that when he was in this army movie, I'm thinking, oh, it wasn't going to be so interesting, Tom Hanks thinking Toy Story style, but no, this man actually really performed a great performance. He took such a new hype to being a captain of a whole entire soldier Rangers recruit. So I gotta say it was great. Matt Damon, I don't see him in a lot of great movies. Well, to me, he does a great performance in certain movies, and I have to give him credit on Go Will Hunting. He was great in that movie. This movie, I believe, made his career. This movie made 5 Academy Awards, so you gotta give Steven Spielberg, the director of this phenomenal movie, credit. He knows how to make a movie so realistic. Now, it is a realistic based on events, on certain things about the movie. Fortunately, the World War II event, the D-Day event, yeah, that is what happened in certain cases. But the whole Saving Private Ryan is a kind of a fictional thing, and if it's real, congratulations to the brave soldier who made it in that survival moment. The movie actually has a beginning which comes to an end with a twist, so I gotta say that it's great. It's kind of, in the beginning, it's kind of gory, I will give you that. But as the movie goes on, the storytelling in it, it's just so dramatic and passionate that you can't keep your eyes off this movie. And you have to focus on the movie the entire time to understand all the concepts of every part of the movie. We have Edward Burns, who plays the guy who just thinks this movie is, or not this movie, the whole situation they're in to save one guy is nonsense. But, Tom Hanks, even as a captain, even agrees that it's nonsense, but at the same time, he still is out there just to bring a child home for his mother. Tom Sizemore, the second man in charge, he was great. I loved Vin Diesel. I loved Giovanni, I think his name is Ribisi. I loved Adam Goldberg. I loved Barry Pepper. Barry Pepper as this religious guy with the perfect aim for sniping. I mean, I loved that part. Jeremy Davis, the guy with who knows how to interpret so many different types of languages. I mean, everything about this movie is great. I'm just going to throw that out there. So that's why I rated it at 10. That's why I rated it as a ticket pick choice. So let's go with the next one. In the Intech office, the insecure Peter Gibson hates his job and the abusive division VP Bill Lumberg that has just hired 2 consultants to downsize the company. His girlfriend Anne is cheating on him, but she convinces Peter to visit a hypnotherapist, Dr. Swanson. Peter tells how miserable his life and tells how miserable his life is to doctors, and Dr. Swanson hypnotizes him, and he goes into a state of ecstasy. Due to the unfortunate event, Dr. Swanson was able to clear Peter's mind, but kept him in a trance. Peter then changes his life and attitude in the company. Being promoted by the consultants, he discovers his best friend / co-workers Michael Bolton and Samir, sorry if I'm pronouncing this wrong, Najinara, were getting fired. They decide to plant a virus in the account system to embezzle fraction of cents in each financial operation into Peter's account. Michael makes a slight mistake that puts the desperate trio to fix the problem, otherwise face prison. Okay, I'm just going to rate this movie out of 5. The reason I rate this movie at a 5... Oh, sorry, I forgot to say who was in the movie. My apologies. Office Space, made in 1999 as a comedy directed by Mike Judge. Also screenplay by Mike Judge. Cast includes Mike Judge, Jennifer Aniston, Ron Livingston, and Gary Cole. Now, I rated this movie out of 5 because I didn't think the movie was as good as it should have been. It was funny. It had its sad case of a Mondays. The jokes were hilarious. I would say in kind of a weird sense it was funny. But it was just not something you would catch your eye in a movie. It didn't really give you that, oh, you know, my god, that's freaking hilarious, or oh, that's perfectly good to watch. If I was bored, maybe I'd watch this movie. Maybe if I was the only DVD I had in my, I'd say drawer, maybe I would watch it. But other than that, I really didn't like the movie. I didn't like the puns in it. I didn't think everything. But I mean, it does have its moments where it's also recognized in the film that made its creative self be out there for other things to put, or for other shows to take on. Like Family Guy took the printer part of this movie about smashing it with the bat and everything. I mean, that's great. But of course it was with a record for the Family Guy episode. But I would just say that the movie honestly was not really worth watching. The actors were okay. Jennifer Aniston's pretty good looking in the movie, but it's not good looking enough to actually pay the amount of money to go and see that movie. So I don't recommend the movie. If you want to go and give yourself a try just because it was on the show, go for it. But honestly, I don't recommend this movie. Alright, the next segment is on one particular thing, and it's I'm going to save one movie to recommend to go see that's already out on Blockbusters. It's kind of new, and it's worth watching. So let me give it to you guys, huh? After a stint a mental institution. Sorry about that, guys. I'm a little exhausted today. Institution. Former teacher Pat Solitano moves back with his parents and tries to reconcile with his ex-wife. Things get more challenging when Pat meets Tiffany, a mysterious girl with problems of her own. Silver Linings Playbook, made in 2012 as a comedy, drama, and romance, directed by David Russell, screenplay also by David Russell, and novel by Matthew Quick. Cast includes Bradley Cooper, Jennifer Lawrence, and Robert De Niro. Okay, this is the movie I recommend because this movie was just so good. I wish I would have saw it in theaters, and I didn't get the unfortunate chance to see it, you know, because we're all unfortunately in tight budget when it comes to movies like this. So I gotta say that seeing this movie and just on my big TV screen, well, not my big TV screen, but just seeing it itself was really good. I love Jennifer Lawrence. Normally, you know, I just see her as alright, but in this movie she had a really great performance, and not only that, she looked fantastic in the movie. She just had that sex appeal where she was crazy, but at the same time she had that attraction to her. Bradley Cooper, I gotta give him some credit. I love his movies and comedies and smart remarks. I think he's a great actor. So seeing him in this movie as a different kind of like mentally bipolar guy, I just wanted to see if he could capture that role, and he did such a great job doing it. Robert De Niro always, to me, will do such great jobs in movies, so you can't even put this man down in certain movies. Sure, he has some corny movies, but at the same time, he also has some redemption movies. So Robert De Niro in this movie was great, and I actually really loved his performance in it as the father of Bradley Cooper. And, I mean, just the movie itself had such great times and such great moments, and the twists to the movie, and just the romance and the chemistry that Bradley Cooper was not aware as the character with Jennifer Lawrence just was startling, which made the movie even more interesting and more fascinating to see if it was going to go the way a romantic movie goes. I can't spoil it for you, unfortunately, but not only that, if you the title is so intriguing that it when you see the movie, you have to really focus on how the title is the same as the movie. So it's kind of funny, but it's got its quirky moments, but it has its funny moments. I gotta say, I'm pretty sure it got nominated for for one of the best movies or something. I'm not really sure, but I'm pretty sure it did get nominated for something. So honestly, I honestly recommend this movie. I don't know what to tell you. Otherwise, I would just say go see the movie yourself. It's worth actually paying a couple bucks to go and see it. It's already out. Something you should go see. Okay. The next topic is must-see movies. Now, this is the part of the show where we're going to talk about movies to go see in theaters that are actually worth watching, not movies that are not worth watching in theaters. Okay, so let me just start off. Following 6 friends, they're trapped in a house after a series of strange and catastrophic events that devastate Los Angeles. As the world unravels outside, harboring supplies and cabin fever threaten to tear apart the friendships inside. Eventually, they are forced to leave the house, facing their fate and the true meaning of friendship and redemption. This is the End, made in 2013 as a comedy, directed by Evan Berg and Seth Rogen. Screenplay also by Evan Goldberg, and Seth Rogen. Cast includes James Franco, Jonah Hill, Seth Rogen, Jay Baruchel, Danny McBride, and Craig Robinson. This movie was hilarious. Okay, let's just say that. It was funny as hell. And I love the ending. The ending was an icing on the cake. If you are an old school fan, in certain cases this is an old school ending. If you're a person who actually is familiarized with yourself with old school childhood memories, this would be the perfect ending for you. I also like this movie. It's got its really ridiculous, hilarious parts in this movie, and the storyline was actually really good. I thought it was going to be like corny and stuff. The only thing I didn't like is that the movie came out a day before Man of Steel. Now this particular situation has happened already with Hangover 3, with I believe it was Fast 6, and I didn't like that too well, because how are you going to put the day before a comedy versus a action movie? And when I saw Hangover 3, I was thinking to myself, what were they doing with the second one that they thought, oh, well, I mean, obviously they were going to have to make a third one, I guess, but, you know, the second one was terrible, so the third one wasn't really going to do so well. And so I'm thinking to myself, okay, well, they're going to have to put on a Friday by itself, a standalone movie, or a movie that just came out and does not go against anybody, but instead they go and do a day before Fast 6, and Fast 6 already making its marketing, and it would do such a terrific job with all its performances that we're going to see in the movie, that why would you think I would want to see a comedy like Hangover 3 when it wasn't doing so good with Hangover 2 over Fast 6? And we wouldn't be paying dollars for, to me, I wouldn't be paying top dollars to be spending for 2 movies. So, you know, obviously not all of us have that, especially with the economy going where it is. You can't really be spending your top dollars on 2 different movies in 1 week. So that just really was thrown out of the park. So with that being said, this is the End going against Man of Steel. Man of Steel was already going to be a redemption movie towards the Superman Return movie, which Superman Returns blew. So why would you do something like that? You know, put that comedy movie into right after or before one of the big superhero redemption movies. It didn't make sense to me, but you know, we all have a different they're different productions. You know, they're going their different route about it, so it's okay. But for me, I would have put, honestly, if they would have done it the week after, it would have been a great movie, because This Is the End was actually worth watching in theaters. I had to unfortunately watch it after a week after. See, we watching it a week after Man of Steel. Man of Steel was phenomenal. So I wasn't gonna try to put the same movie when I don't have the budget for it, especially the paycheck to go and spend to go see both those movies in the same week. So, but at the same time, This Is the End actually really blew me off with so much hilarious comedy. Seth Rogen does such a spectacular job. Craig Robinson, Jonah Hill being everybody kind of sees him as a do-so in this movie. You can see him in a different role where he's the sweet guy, so it's kind of a little off, but at the same time, you're kind of as the story goes on, you're gonna find it hilarious. Danny McBride is always as you assume he would be, so in this movie he just looked like he did the same thing. And there's so many great actors in this. Even if you don't get to see him for too long, you still get to see so many great actors in there. You got Jason Segel, you got Paul Rudd, even comes out of nowhere, Kevin Hart. So I gotta give this movie some credit. I honestly thought it was hilarious. It was also funny, and honestly, everybody's performance was great. So I recommend this movie to go see in theaters, honestly. Let's go on to the second one. Sorry. Gru is recruited by the Anti-Villain League to help deal with a powerful and new supercriminal. Despicable Me 2, made in 2013 as an animation/crime/comedy, directed by Pierre Coffin and Chris Renard. Screenplay by Ken Dario and Cinco Paul. Cast includes Steve Carell, Kristen Wiig, Benjamin Bratt, and Russell Brand. Unfortunately I got lucky and get to see. I saw this movie for free. I can't tell you how saw the movie for free, but I just saw the movie for free. And let me just tell you, I wish I would have paid actually top dollars to go see that movie. That movie was hilarious. I loved this movie. It was honestly, the first one was great. So because you don't get to if I had to compare, I haven't seen Monster University yet, so I can't say anything. But if I had to compare, I would say that Despicable Me, it did, obviously in the box office, it probably did way better than Monster University. So I have to say that this movie was great, and it was actually worth paying your dollars to go see. Despicable Me first one was pretty good, actually. It was funny. Honestly, I love kids movies, so I got to give certain movies credits, and I'm going to give you my real perspective of it. Not every animation movie is going to do so great. But at the same time, this movie did such a good job, and you get to see the minions a little more, and they're just so entertaining and adorable to watch. And you get to see Gru and the kids, little girls, and it's just icing on the cake on how the movie and the storyline goes. And I can't wait until they make another third movie. They're gonna make a third movie, obviously. I don't know how they're gonna do it, but they're gonna manage. Obviously, their creativity doesn't go far away. So honestly, I can't wait for this movie to come out. The third one to come out. So, but the second one, honestly, we'll watch it. Worth seeing. Everybody there was hilarious. The jokes were still funny. So yeah, that's the movie. That's a movie you must go see, I would actually say. So yeah. Okay, well everyone, that's it for the show. I just want to say thank you guys for watching. Unfortunately, like I said, my partner wasn't able to help me out in this moment, but it's okay. Maybe we'll be back in the next show. So please subscribe to us, or subscribe to me. What do you call it? Ticket Freaks. You know where the blog is, and hopefully I'll get to see you guys, or get to do some more film, and hopefully you guys give me your feedback and criticism. I love to see it. I want to know if what you guys think, obviously, because you know your criticism helps me to improve my kind of performances in the shows and stuff like that. So just want to throw that out there. At some point we might be, you know, getting some questions off of you guys, maybe feeding that info, and maybe doing some work on it, and then giving you giving my feedback about what I think about that question. So you never know, this might happen in the show. I just want to say, Harold, congratulations on your baby girl, and also you, Fabi, for having the baby girl. Not yet, but wish you luck on that. So yeah, I'll hope to see you guys next week. Bye. Favorite movie, 1,000